What is going on, Haunt Nation? I'm Ant, and we are tea-free. That doesn't sound right. We're tea-less today. Let's say that. Um, Unfortunately, my man T got ill, was not able to go with us, and in order to get these videos out in a timely manner, I'm going to be doing the next several reviews on my own because I'm not going to see this man probably until close to Halloween weekend. So, even if I wanted to do these videos for you, together with him, really pressed for time. Yeah. Okay, so this is going to be for Erebus in the 2022 season. Erebus is out in Pontiac, Michigan. A fairly famous haunt, usually makes somewhere in the top 10 list. Pricing varies day to day. Thursday might be $25, Friday might be $32. So you really have to look at their website. I would tell you to buy your tickets online because if you buy them when you're there, they take cash only. They do have ATM machines, but it's just an easier process to get them online. They usually wind up being a little cheaper. Usually the tickets at most places, I don't know about Erebus, are a little cheaper online, but then when you add the fees, they almost even out, but they're just a little bit cheaper. Anyway, I would advise you to get your tickets online anyhow. Parking, it's in a warehouse type building in an industrial-ish kind of area of a city, so you could probably find street parking. However, there is a lot right across the street from the haunt, and $10 a car, which is a little pricey, but you're literally right across the street. That's what I opted for. I'm not telling you to do that, just telling you. You can probably find street parking. I don't know. I didn't wander around and take a look. Be cognizant of street parking rules. You don't want to get towed. That would make a miserable, miserable night. So Erebus is a house type haunt. It is multi-stories with multiple themes as you go through it. Pretty cool, but it's all indoor, no outdoor. So that's cool. Even in inclement weather, you can get your haunt on. It has actors and animatronics. It has moving parts. It has some video elements as well. Audio fog, the typical stuff. Lots of moving parts. So it's kind of like 50-50. I wouldn't say 50-50 with the animatronics, but there are animated things going on. As you know, we, unlike some places, don't bring our cameras in. We don't try to record video either approved or unapproved, because we want you guys to go to the haunts, we want you guys to experience them, and we want you guys to give us feedback based on what you think and what we experienced. We get it, every night is different at a haunt. I've had miserable nights at a haunt and great nights at the same haunt. We go by what we had that night. So take that into account when you decide to try to destroy us in the comments. Anyway, timing and spacing in Erebus was pretty decent. So it's a long way inside. Took probably a half hour to get into the haunt proper, and we were less than 200 online. How do I know this? Get to that in a little bit. They make you stop by and take pictures at the little picture kiosk. I was hoping for something more interactive in the background, but there wasn't. It's just, take pictures, do different things, whatnot. Ticket booth, get your tickets at the ticket booth, get on a bigger queue, go through the beginning area of the haunt, which I haven't been there since 2018. So 4 years ago, the beginning was a lot cooler. I'm just going to say that. This time it was okay. 4 years ago it was a lot cooler. They had this whole time travel thing, and I don't know how they did it, but we started in one area, and when we exited, it was a different area with bodies laying all over the floor. And I was like, well, that was pretty cool. Little bit of, sleight of hand there on their part. Didn't exist this year. Upstairs, upstairs, upstairs. Like I said, it's 4 stories. Start at the top. It's actually a 3-story building plus the basement. So, but start at the top, work your way down. Timing and spacing were actually pretty decent. There were a lot of things where they put you together as a group, but then when you went through, your group went through separately. Unfortunately, we did hit people along the way. I'm thinking if they had a couple choke points. They did have a couple choke points, and they did separate us again, which is much appreciated. You know, choke points done right. The problem is the people that were in front of us were real Scooby-Doo walkers, and the people behind me were sprinters, which is the god-awful worst thing that you can have, because the people in front are moving so slow, creeping, looking around every corner, that you're up their ass. I mean, the choke point guy gave us a good 30 seconds, and we were on top of them within 30 feet. Like, literally walked in and around a corner, and there they were. And I'm like, seriously? But anyway, people behind us were sprinters. Eventually, they got ahead of us, and I'm sure ahead of the people in front of us. Never saw them again, and then enjoyed the rest of the haunt. Anyway, timing and spacing was great, though. They did a good job. Do I think they could have done a better job with how they spaced us out? Yeah, it was really, really basic. Basically put us in a room with a lot of audio and some visuals, but the audio could have been better. The visuals could have been better. There could have been more interactive. It's just very basic. Did its job, but very basic. The sets were not movie quality. But they were decent. Though all the set work was pretty decent. You know, conveyed the idea of what they were trying to get across. Multi-level floors, flooring that moved and such, which is also really cool to have in a haunt. Also, things that are moving, you know, partitions and walls, very cool. Costumes, a lot of appropriate costumes, but just a lot of face paint and some rubber masks. So not the best costuming, you know, still pretty decent, but, you know, most of the actors weren't into it. Again, there were points in time when I did hit actors that were just kind of standing around, which, you know, let's just say it, doesn't make for the best experience when they're just standing there and they're looking at you and you look at them and they're like great. So no silicone masks, maybe some contacts here and there, but other than that, no prosthetics, no teeth, no nothing like that. As I said, most of the actors were into it, but there were some that were just kind of there, you know, so again, not the best. Most of the prosthetics seem to be working. There is one that sticks out in my mind that wasn't. You know, would have been very cool if it was. Whole spider type theme in the room, and a mechanical spider just wasn't working. Lights were blinking. If I get anything confused, by the way, I'm 99% sure this was Erebus. If I am wrong and I get anything confused, I did hit like 5 haunts in 2 days, so please forgive me, but I don't think I'm getting anything wrong. The length. Erebus is a long haunt. It takes a while to walk through all 4 floors, and I definitely appreciate that, especially at the price. Your cost to length ratio is fucking fantastic. You know, if you go on a Thursday and you're paying $25 and you're walking through this place for 30 to 40 minutes, that's awesome. It's just awesome. You know, definitely going to get your money's worth at Erebus. Noticeable changes. Yeah, I noticed changes even from 4 years ago. There were a lot of things different from what I can remember. Different sections, a lot of similar sets, maybe arranged in different ways, but definitely a lot of different stuff. So it is absolutely worth going to if you haven't been there in a couple of years. You know, definitely worth revisiting, because it's not exactly the same, which is very fucking welcome. Concessions. I believe they did have some food and stuff at the very end. They also had a couple photo ops. They have a lot of t-shirts and hoodies. And back to the stuff that I was talking about. Now, I don't know if they had any add-on stuff like escape rooms. I believe they do have escape rooms. I don't recall seeing it. So, you know, I can't really comment. But they do have a ton of merch to buy. And the really cool thing I was alluding to before, how do I know I was less than 200 online? Because at Erebus, every night, the first 200 people in line get a free t-shirt, and it tends to be that year's, you know, specific t-shirt. So it's not just a generic, it's not just a this and that, it's every year's specific t-shirt. So I got a free t-shirt, really happy about that, especially like the cost of entry wasn't that high. I get a free t-shirt on top of it because I was there early. You know, I can't be upset with that. They do have a VIP line, which may slow you down getting in. So you may want to consider the VIP option, especially if you want a t-shirt, especially on the more busy nights, because the VIPs are being let in ahead of the general admission. So you may lose out on your t-shirt that way. Bathrooms, there are porta potties outside across the street near the parking lot on the same side of the street as the parking lot. I don't recall seeing any bathrooms inside. What did I like? I love the length. The length of the haunt is great. That's definitely something to take and run with. And if more can be done to the haunt, update some of the scenery, definitely update the costumes, maybe vet your actors a little bit better. I know it's hard. You have to work with what you're given, but it is what it is. What didn't I like? I love that they had choke points. I hate the conga line, but I'm not going to blame the haunt for that. My biggest gripe with it is the costumes could have been better, and some of the actors definitely could have been more into it. That's just the thing. What would I change? I'd update it a little bit more. I'd definitely change the beginning. The beginning, and people that have been there all know what I'm talking about when they actually separate you into your groups. And that's another real big plus. I had a group of 2. We went in as a group of 2. We didn't go in as a group of 2+, which is awesome. So, my rating out of 10, I am going to have to go for Erebus with a 7.5. Definitely worth going to. Remember, guys, anything above a 5 is average. Anything above a 5 is above average. A 7.5 is like 75 percentile. That's pretty high score. We don't have my man here to give you his score because he didn't go. Again, he missed it again. But anyway, that's it. That's my review. And 7.5 for Erebus in the 2022 season. And I will see you on the next review.